Studios are lining up to adapt every bankable superhero or comic book icon to the big screen, so you'd think that fans would be happy with what they have coming. But every comic book fan has their favorites, and sometimes it's the most unlikely superheroes that could end up being the biggest box office surprises. Here are Screen Rant's 10 superhero movies we would love to see. X-Force. Anyone who's read an X-Force story knows why the Strike Team is the perfect fit for Fox's shared universe. Pairing deadly heroes like Deadpool with Psylocke and Archangel, who are both joining the movie universe in X-Men Apocalypse, would guarantee action. The covert, unsanctioned side of the X-Men seek out mutant threats and end them before they make trouble. The team leader Cable is getting a role in the Deadpool sequel, and there'd be a spot for Wolverine should Hugh Jackman want to try an R-rated ensemble. Fox would be crazy not to make this sooner rather than later.
Class dismissed.
Secret Six. They may seem like another Suicide Squad, but the Secret Six are a team of villains working together on a massive score, and they're the ones being chased, not the other way around. When Deadshot, Catwoman, Bane, and more team up to transport a prisoner across the country, a bounty is put on their heads, drawing every gangster, goon, and killer out after them. If DC's Suicide Squad ends up a hit, then a spin-off like Secret Six could give fans an even stranger, more supernatural dose, on a much smaller budget and with characters less tied to other franchises. That's assuming the studio will have room alongside their big screen Justice League. Miss Marvel. Since kids everywhere are getting more and more obsessed with Marvel's Avengers, it seems crazy not to make a movie based on the new Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan. She's a teenage girl who gets incredible superpowers and decides to follow in the footsteps of her favorite hero, Captain Marvel. The comic was a critical hit, starring a Pakistani-American heroine and dealing with a coming-of-age tale while also telling a superhero origin story. Captain Marvel is coming to the big screen, and the Inhumans aren't far behind, so focusing a movie on her personal story could be a nice counterpoint to the massive Avengers movies. The Metal Men. Dr. Will Magnus didn't know what he was creating when he added microcomputers to liquid metal, but what he ended up with was the Metal Men, metallic robots with strengths and personalities all based on the metal they're made of. Before long, gold, platinum, mercury, iron, tin, and lead were using their shape-shifting powers to take down enemies born right out of science fiction. The humor of a movie based on the comics is hard to miss, but the action could be just as good, especially once they stop shape-shifting in battle and combine to form Alloy, a massive robot warrior with all of their powers. Just picture the toy sales. Spawn. The demonic hero created by Todd McFarlane got his big screen debut in 1997, before comic book movies were mainstream hits, but it still managed to keep fans happy. The cartoon series kept the love going, and the creator hasn't given up on a sequel or remake just yet. In recent years, McFarlane has claimed to have a script all but finished, with Oscar winner Jamie Foxx on board to play the Marine-turned-Hellspawn terrorizing the criminals of his city. It's still one of the darkest comic book movies to ever get made, and it got enough right to earn a second look. So if studios are looking for an R-rated anti-hero, having a movie star already on board is half the battle. Moon Knight. He might seem like a Batman ripoff, but Marvel's Moon Knight is even weirder. When a former Marine and mercenary winds up surrounded by ancient Egyptian artifacts, dying at the feet of a statue of Khonshu, the Egyptian moon god, Mark Spector agrees to be resurrected as the god's new host. It's a gift and a curse, since the revival fractures Mark's mind, changing his personality with the phases of the moon. The only thing scarier than a super strong, gadget-wielding mystical vigilante, one who doesn't try to avoid painful punches and kicks, seeing them as punishment for the life he used to live. Talk about issues. Lobo. DC may not have a match for Deadpool, but Lobo comes pretty close. The immortal, self-healing, murder-loving intergalactic bounty hunter was created as a parody of the ultra-violent Marvel heroes Wolverine and Punisher, but he ended up becoming a fan favorite anyway. In the years since he was introduced, Lobo has weaved his way through every cosmic DC story, meaning a Lobo movie could take place virtually anywhere. Still need another reason? His immortality isn't just genetics. When Lobo died and went to hell, they threw him out up to heaven. The angels couldn't handle him either, permanently banning him from the afterlife. Tell us that isn't a comic book movie waiting to be made. Captain Comet. If there's one genre of film that's enjoying as much of a boost as comic books, it's science fiction. And the more attitude and personality, the better. Casual fans might think that the deep space side of DC's movie universe is just for the Green Lanterns and New Gods, but there are some seedier locations too. Take Hardcore Station, the stomping grounds of the galaxy's surliest citizens. The setting was the real star of DC's Mystery in Space miniseries, following the exploits of the telekinetic, telepathic, teleporting superhero known as Captain Comet. He's a mutant even older than Marvel's X-Men, and a mix of the heroes of Guardians of the Galaxy, Firefly, and Star Wars, which means he could be the perfect hero to show DC's cosmic world has a sense of humor too. Beta Ray Bill. Just because a movie seems like a long shot, that doesn't mean we want it any less. The version of Thor in the MCU truly has the strength of a god. The comic books had to meet his match with an alien calling itself Beta Ray Bill, one of the last survivors of the Corbinite race. The fact that he could actually beat the Thunder God and take his hammer shows he has star potential, but he's just as noble as any Asgardian. The reason Odin had a hammer made for him from the same dying star. The horse-faced warrior was an instant favorite of Marvel readers, and with the stakes being raised higher than ever in Thor 3, having a beloved replacement ready to take over for Thor wouldn't hurt. The Runaways. It's one thing to find out you're the child of a superhero, but what if you discover that your parents were as villainous as they come? That's what happened to Marvel's Runaways, who reacted by doing what any hero would, stealing their parents' gadgets and weapons and training to right their wrongs, becoming the super protectors of the city they tried to destroy. It's a story no movie has come close to touching, which is why the teen team-up was originally in the works at Marvel, but it was shelved to make room for the Avengers shared universe. That doesn't mean the movie's been cancelled, but Marvel shouldn't miss out on this idea, which in the right hands could really be something special for the MCU. Those are just a handful of the comic book heroes and heroines we would love to see on the big screen. But what are your own picks? Do you think the big studios are missing out on some of their best properties? Let us know what you think in the comments, and remember to subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one.